Alright, let's get your YouTube chat working on stream using the Streamlabs widget. First, open up streamlabs.com, connect your Twitch or YouTube account. Then go to the chat box section here from the left and make sure your YouTube account is connected. Alright, let's get your YouTube chat working on stream using the Streamlabs widget. First, open up streamlabs.com.
इस खेल में हम रोते हैं पर हंसते भी हैं, डेयरिंग है, केयरिंग भी। ये खेल एक खेल से ज्यादा है, ये खेल है इमोशन का।
Watch the Tata WPL starting 9th January on Jio Hotstar and Star Sports Network.
Sup guys, today I'm going to show you how to make your own inventory system that works the exact same as the basic Roblox hotbar, but you can customize it however you want. So starting off in a new Roblox game, all you have to do is come up to the toolbox, go to my tools, and then drag in this full custom inventory system. Now if you don't have this system, it's the first link in the description. And so all you have to do is click that link and then go over here to get model. And then in your Roblox game, when you click my models, it should be here and you can just drag it in. And to get the system working, all we have to do is open up this folder and then drag this folder here into starter GUI and then just do what it says and ungroup. Then we can just delete the folder up here because we don't really need any of this stuff. And now if we go into the toolbox and we go over here and look up tools, then we can drag in some random tools to see if the inventory works. So I'm just going to drag in these tools and then we can go ahead and click play. And let me see if this works. So if I walk over everything.
Drop the background like magic with background remover. Canva will say
Yo, what's good with y'all? In today's video, I got the how to make a basic sword combat system. This is the updated version of the original video I made back in June, end of June, early July. So this is the updated version. If you watch the how to make a basic combat system updated, you'll see that it's literally the exact same code. So it literally is the exact same code with a little difference, like 3 lines, no more like 5 lines or different, and including the inputs. But the point is, it's a few changes, little differences and stuff. This is a better version of obviously what I made, like almost 8 months ago and whatnot. But let's go ahead and get straight into the video. Okay, so first things first, of course, you're going to need a sword. So you can simply open up the toolbox if you don't already have a sword. You can and then you can get a sword, right? You could literally just type sword. Right? So type sword, okay, right? It doesn't matter what sword you get, right? You want to put it inside of the starter pack. You can, we can delete all these scripts. We don't need them. We can also delete the thumbnail camera. Don't need starter pack. You can, we can delete all these scripts. We don't need them. We can also delete the thumbnail camera. Don't need it. You're going to want to insert a local script into the classic, or sorry, not classic sword, into the sword, whatever the sword is called, right? You're going to want to rename the script to combat script and parentheses put local. Right, you're going to want to delete print hello worlds. And then before we get into that, let's go ahead and knock out some other prerequisites. First things first, of course, you're going to need some sound effects because, it's a sword. You can simply go to the toolbox, go to audio, type sword / whatever, and then you can get your sound effects and stuff. Once you get your sound effects, put them inside a sound service. Name one sword hit, name the other sword slash. Slash is just for when you just like, swing the sword, or I guess sword swing would probably be a better name for this, but yeah. Then hit is up when you obviously make contact with either a player or an NPC, right? And then we're gonna need to insert a remote event into replicated storage. So you can insert a remote event. If you don't see it, type it, and then rename said remote event to combat events. Let's go ahead and create a NPC so we can test to make sure that it works when we're done. So go to the top, click avatar, rig builder, block avatar, boom, right? So you're just gonna throw that right there. And then go ahead and get to the scripting. So let's open up the local script. First things first, we're going to create a variable for the tool. So we're going to say local tool is equal to script.parent, as the local script should be parented directly to the tool. Tool or the sword, right? Then we're going to create a variable for the combat mode event. We're going to say local combat event is equal to game the replicated storage wait for child combat event. Then I'm going to create a variable for the local player. So I'm going to say local player is equal to game.players.local player. And lastly, I'm going to create a variable for the attack number, local attack number, because keep in mind, we're going to set that to 1. Keep in mind, it's essentially an M1 system, right? So it's going to go, attack 1, then attack 2, and then go back and forth. So left slash, right slash, that's how it's going to go, right? So then we're going to set up a function. We're going to say tool.activated, which this function is triggered every time a player left clicks while the tool is equipped. Then we're going to say connect function, close parentheses, enter. We're going to first say if player.character.combat status, which we're going to set that up on a server script, that value is equal to just quotation marks, which means the player isn't doing anything. Then enter, you're going to say if attack number is equal to 1, then we're going to do left slash. So So set attack number equal to 2. Then we're going to say combat event fire server. In quotation marks, you want to put M1 so we know that's the name of the event, then comma. In quotation marks, put left slash so we know what animation to use. Then we're going to do the same thing. Just type else, copy and paste this, Control C. Then we're going to do the same thing. Just type else. Copy and paste this, Control C, Control V, boom, change this to two, swap these numbers, 2, 1. Rename this to, or, rename it to right slash right. Then we can move to the server side. Okay, so we can go ahead and move to the server script service, insert a server script. So boom. And move to the server script service, insert a server script. So boom, regular server script. You're gonna of course need two animations and stuff. You get animations from the toolbox. You have to use your own ID, you can't use mine. Once you get your animations, you go ahead and throw them into the script. You would click the plus. To use your own regular server script. You're gonna of course need two animations and stuff. You get animations from the toolbox. You have to use your own ID, you can't use mine. Once you get your animation. You go ahead and throw them into the script. You would click the plus icon, type animation, and then you would throw your animation ID in here. It'll autofill everything. All you we need is the ID, and then you would rename it to left slash right slash. The names have to match. Like this name has to match this name has to match that name, right? That's simple. So once you're done, put the animations inside of the script. You're going to want to rename the script to combat script, and in parentheses put server, right? We're going to want to delete Prunella, or we can head back over to the local script and copy and paste the combat events, Control C, then come over here and Control V on the second line. Because first things first, we need to get the sound service. We get our services first. So let's say local SS is equal to game get service sound service, right? Then let's get into the first. Let's set up the first function, which is the hitboxing combat status function. So we're gonna say game.players.player added connect function. Right, in parentheses, you're gonna put PLR short for player, comma, or sorry, PLR. I'm overthinking this other function anyway. Enter, you're gonna say player.character added connect function, right? And in parentheses, you're going to put character, enter. First thing first is create the combat status value. We're going to say local combat status is equal to instance.new. In quotation marks, you're going to put a string value. Then you're going to parent this to the player's character. You're going to say combat event combat status dot name is of course equal to combat status. Then you're going to say combat status dot value, but default is equal to just regular quotation marks, put a space. We're then going to create the hitbox. We're going to say local hitbox is equal to instance dot new in quotation marks, put part, parent this to the characters humanoid root part. You're then going to create a weld constraint. So you can weld it. You're going to say local weld constraint is equal to instance dot new notation marks, put weld constraint, parent this to the hitbox. You're going to say weld constraint that part 0 is equal to hitbox and weld constraint dot part 1 is equal to character dot humanoid root part. Right, then we're going to say hitbox dot name is equal to notation marks hitbox. Then hitbox dot anchored is equal to false. Hitbox dot maskless is equal to true. Then you're going to say hitbox dot can collide is equal to false. Hitbox dot transparency is equal to 1. Hitbox That size is equal to vector 3 dot new in quotation marks. In parentheses, put v comma 6 comma 5.5. Then we're going to say hitbox.color is equal to color 3 dot new 1 comma 0 comma 0. Right, then, then we're going to set the C frame. We're going to say hitbox pivot to character dot humanoid root part dot C frame. Right, then, then we're going to set the C frame. We're going to say hitbox pivot to character dot humanoid root part dot C frame. Right. Then we're going to move on to the second function. Right. We're going to say combat event dot on server event. Connect function, right? In parentheses, put PLR for player, comma event type, then enter. Right. Oh, sorry, I forgot arg1s. So arg1 should for argument number one, create a variable for the player's character. I'm going to say local character is equal to player dot character. We're going to say if event type is equal to in quotation marks m1 and we're going to say character dot combat status value is equal to regular quotation marks, right? I mean, just quotation marks. Enter, then you're gonna say character. You can really copy and paste this, save yourself some time. So you could just Control C, Control V. Delete one equal sign. In the quotation marks, you're gonna put attacking, right? Then we're gonna set the animation check. We're gonna say local AT show for animation check is equal to character that humanoid load animation in parentheses, then do script. Then you're gonna do script regular bracket arg1, right? Then you're gonna say AT play. Boom. Then we're gonna play the sword slash sound, so sword slash play. Then we're gonna set the rate casting. So we're gonna say local start position is equal to um we're gonna say character dot human or let me create a variable for the hitbox actually. I think that'll just be is it really needed? I mean, no, it's not really needed for never mind. So we're gonna say character dot humanoid root part dot hitbox dot position, right? Then we're gonna say local direction is equal to, you can really copy and paste this, Control C. Control V, and just change this to C frame, the look vector, right? Then we are going to create the raycast params. So we can, let's go down and say local raycast params. is equal to raycast params.new, right? Then I'm going to say raycast params. That's filter type is equal to enum.raycast. Params.new, right? Then I'm going to say raycast params. That's filter type is equal to enum.raycast filter. So type.exclude. Raycast params. That filter descendants instance.